Hello, God bless Roma Ministries. It's me, Dick Jr. I am coming to you today to read you 2 Chronicles chapter 9. Now, I prayed and I asked God to help me to speak with you today before I started this video. And I suggested anytime you place yourself in God's Word that you pray also and that you ask for knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, just like I do. He'll give them to you, and that's His promise, not mine, and it's in here. You can go looking for it. It's in a lot of spots. But the reason why is that He wants us to understand what's in this book, which is His perfect plan of salvation through Jesus Christ, His Son. Okay? So from the creation to the last day and everything you need to know, it's all in this book. So that being said, I'm going to go ahead and get started here in chapter 9. Now, when the Queen of Sheba heard of the fame of Solomon, she came to Jerusalem to test Solomon with difficult questions. She had a very large retinue, with camels carrying spices and a large amount of gold and precious stones. And when she came to Solomon, she spoke with him about all that was on her heart. Solomon answered all her questions. Nothing was hidden from Solomon, which he did not explain to her. When the king of Sheba had seen the wisdom of Solomon, the house which he had built, the food at his table, the seating of his servants, the attendance of his ministers and their attire, his cupbearers and their attire, his stairway by which he went up to the house of the Lord, she was breathless. Then she said to the king, "It was a true report which I had heard in my own land about your words and your wisdom. Nevertheless, I did not believe their reports until I came and my eyes had seen it. And behold, the half of the greatness of your wisdom was not told me. You surpassed the report that I heard. How blessed are your men, how blessed are these your servants, who stand before you continually and hear your wisdom. Blessed be the Lord your God, who delighted in you, setting you on his throne as king for the Lord your God. Because your God loved Israel, establishing them forever. Therefore he made you king over them, to do justice and righteousness." Then she gave the king 120 talents of gold, and a very great amount of spices and precious stones. There had never been spice like that which the Queen of Sheba gave to King Solomon. The servants of Hiram and the servants of Solomon, who brought gold from Ophir, also brought algum trees and precious stones. From the algum trees the king made steps for the house of the Lord and for the king's palace, and lyres and harps for the singers. And none like that was seen before in the land of Judah. King Solomon gave to the Queen of Sheba all her desire which she requested, besides a return for what she had brought to the king. Then she returned and went to her own land with her servants. Now the weight of the gold which came to Solomon in 1 year was 666 talents of gold, besides that which the traders and merchants brought, and all the kings of Arabia and the governors of the country brought gold and silver to Solomon. King Solomon made 200 large shields of beaten gold, using 600 shekels of beaten gold on each large shield. He made 300 shields of beaten gold, using 300 shekels of gold on each shield, and the king put them in the house of the forest of Lebanon. Moreover, the king made a great throne of ivory and overlaid it with pure gold. There were six steps to the throne, and a footstool in gold attached to the throne, and the arms on each side of the seat, and 2 lions standing beside the arms. 12 lions were standing there on the 6 steps on the one side and on the other. Nothing like it was made for any other kingdom. All King Solomon's drinking vessels were gold, and all the vessels of the house of the forest of Lebanon were pure gold. Silver was not considered valuable in the days of Solomon. For the king had ships which went to Tarshish with the servants of Hiram. Once every 3 years the ships of Tarshish came, bringing gold and silver, ivory, and apes and peacocks. So King Solomon became greater than all the kings of the earth in riches and wisdom. And all the kings of the earth were seeking the presence of Solomon to hear his wisdom, which God had put in his heart. They brought every man his gift, articles of silver and gold, garments, weapons, spices, horses, mules, so much year by year. Now Solomon had 4,000 stalls for horses and chariots, and 12,000 horsemen, and he stationed them in chariot cities, and with the king in Jerusalem. He was the ruler over all the kings from the Euphrates River even to the land of the Philistines, and as far as the border of Egypt. The king made silver as common as stones in Jerusalem, and he made cedars as plentiful as sycamore trees are in the lowlands. And they were bringing horses for Solomon from Egypt and from all countries. Now the rest of the acts of Solomon, from the first to the last, are they not written in the records of Nathan the prophet, and in the prophecy of Ahijah the Shilonite, and in the visions of Iddo the seer concerning Jeroboam the son of Nebat? Solomon reigned 40 years in Jerusalem over all Israel. And Solomon slept with his fathers and was buried in the city of his father David, and his son Rehoboam reigned in his place. Solomon got 9 chapters. Many kings just get a couple paragraphs in a chapter. So anyway, that's all I have for 2 Chronicles chapter 9. Thanks for listening, and God bless.